I think we're live. There we go. Hey, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
I'm Pontoon
There
Jody.
we go.
We got two stands up here.
Stance.
Mr. Steve Douglas,
hey,
and
everybody.
we're gonna talk about CatCon a little bit. So,
What's
I
CatCon?
said CatCon is the Catfish and Crappie Conference.
There you go.
Yes,
the
it's
catfish and
2025.
the catfish and crappie extravaganza, right?
Extraordinaire. Yep.
Mhm.
There you go.
And there's more than just what the name reads. Anything you can imagine is going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll
Did you
find
get
some bass stuff in there and everything.
Did you get my email?
Yes, I got it ready to
Is
go.
it something you'll be able to put up? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not finished with it, but that's where I'm starting, I guess.
it's a work in progress.
It's the first time anybody's got to see it.
I know.
I haven't posted it this year.
I've been watching for it. So let's say hello to some people in chat so we don't get too far behind. We got Chris Everett, Josh Thompson, Mike Sampson. Let's see. It takes me a little while to scroll down. Dink over stink catfishing. Burrito catfishing lady. Hey Lisa. Dead Sea Pirates fishing. Randy Old Gray Hair Swain. Brokeback Bob. Let's see. Cool Cats Fishing. Smoky Mountain Catfishing. 3 Nights. Ed Jenkins.
Hang on a minute. What have you got, girl?
Let's see. Let me scroll on down just a little bit. Make sure I don't miss somebody.
Everybody's saying hello to everybody.
I know. Said we got started on time today, so that's a good thing. People congratulating James on his win. Yep. Catch fish with us. How you doing? David Hughes, good evening. And I'm about to the bottom. I'm having to squint to see. I'm going to get glasses this year. Kevin Hendrickson, John Boy's Catfishing.
We got Chris Everett. I don't know if you saw Chris Everett.
Yeah, jump in if you want to. Real-time catfish.
Catch fish with us. There's John Parker. Real time is out there. Eric B. What's up, Eric B? Great to see you. I'm sure you said hello to Burrito Catfishing Lady.
Yeah, 217.
John Boy. Let's see. Dead Sea Pirates. David Hughes. 3 Nights is out there. What's up? Boom, boom,
LG
boom.
Bass, Tomcat.
I think you got it, Maybe 205. What's up, 205? Good to see you. Michael Grumpy Vet. How's it going?
Yep.
They're still coming in, Jody.
Yep. Almost to the bottom. There we go. I think that got it. All right. We'll talk a little bit about CatCon, and I might not say hello to everybody in chat anymore, but if you write a question, I'll try to get it read to them, okay?
Absolutely.
That way Steve can talk. So appreciate everybody come in. Thank you very much. And we're going to talk about CatCon 25. If you got any questions, like I said, I'm in chat. One of the first things we can discuss is tickets. So we're going to back this up. It is the West Wing at the Kentucky Expo Center. And there's the address to it. 937 Phillips Lane, Louisville, Kentucky. You can use my code to save 10% off your purchase of CatCon tickets. And your first ticket is your online 2-day pass.
You guys are all over it. I'm proud of you. Look at all this work you put into this. This is awesome. Y'all know more stuff than I do. That's bad to say.
Well, we talk about it a lot, Steve. So
all I do is sit behind a computer and call people and try to convince them to be a vendor in there. And build this daggone. I have to do things old school way. I know there's better ways to do things, but that floor plan you're fixing to show,
Yeah.
it gives me headaches.
Oh, I bet.
It gives me headaches. Well, people will call in. They say they want a 10 by 10, and 3 weeks later, I got them placed, and then now they want a 10 by 20, and now I got to move them down and try to figure out everything. But it's fun. And by the way, just for you to know, and maybe your viewers to know, this is a milestone year for us. This is our 10th season with the Catfish Crappie Conference. Well, CatCon, our
Wow.
third season for Catfish Crappie Conference.
Congratulations.
So that's we've been around a long time, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, this first ticket will get you, when you get there,
And,
you'll get your badge. And if you want it mailed to you for the event, you have to pay the $5 extra shipping fee. And we'll go through the tickets real quick. Then the next one is going to be the VIP 2-day pass. And it comes with the custom badge and lanyard with your name shipped to your address for the event. And it allows you to get in early and skip the lines.
That's what a lot of people go for.
Mm-hmm.
They just like that badge and the lanyard. And it does look pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And then you got a new ticket coming up.
And, you get a bill.
The Honor Guest 2-day pass, which includes a VIP event, which will be you get a 2025 CatCon t-shirt and a luxury lanyard and a personal welcome call. Plus, you still get to get in early and skip the lines. So that's a really good deal.
I guess you got this info from Hervé?
I got it online.
Online, okay.
Where you go to buy the tickets. Yeah. So there's that. And that's the good one right there.
Yeah, that's the floor plan. We've kind of got a full house this year. I've got a few extra spaces we can accommodate people, and I'm not done calling either. So
yeah,
but I'm trying to do Monster Rod Holder stuff, Steve Douglas stuff, and CatCon stuff, and it takes a little minute.
There we go. I got rid of that thing. But that's the first look at the floor plan. He hasn't shared it with anybody yet.
Yeah, one thing I did change this year because I had to stand in line like everybody else on the food concessions. I don't know if anybody else experienced that, but I stood in line for 45 minutes to get me a fish sandwich. So if you look where the kids area is, that's normally where the concessions is. But if you go plumb to the other side of the building, where the ACA and XL boats are, I've got another concession doing that. I think one of them's going to sell pizza and chicken. The other's going to sell fish and pork, something like that. So that's going to be pretty good when you don't have to stand in line.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And one thing I'd like to tell people too, because I see it down here where the kids area is, there's a bathroom. And I see most people standing in line for that for 45 minutes too. But I don't know if people realize if you go to the back of the building where the bathroom's on top up here, those are the real nice roomy ones. Now the one over here by the kids area, it's just a one seater.
Okay.
But the other bathrooms, if you walk up, is really big and nice, and it's got several.
And there's a bunch of bathrooms right there before you come into the conference also.
Is there? Oh yeah, there is, isn't there?
Yeah, right outside the front doors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We've got several new people coming this year. A lot of the older folks that's been with us ever since the beginning. A lot of crappie stuff coming in. A lot of crappie guys are excited to come as well.
Are we having a cooking contest again this year?
I don't know. That is a pain. I guess if somebody took it over and just did it, and I didn't have to mess with it. I didn't have to do anything. I guess we could do it, but the last couple of years, nobody's really participated in it, and I don't know why, but it might be because you have to bring all your cooking gear.
That is
a little hard.
Go ahead, Jody. Go ahead,
It is
Jody.
a little hard,
Yeah,
bringing all that in because you got milk and everything you got to pack.
Yeah, we might talk Daryl into doing it at the gathering down there.
Yeah.
That is, it's funny that Jody had mentioned me today because that's one of the things I was going to get in touch with you about this week to ask about the cook-off and what we were looking to do with that this year.
Well, if I thought we could get 5 or 10 people to do it, I would do it. But the year before last, me and Chris Flores had to do it just to have some people there. And I think last year
this whole thing.
Yeah,
that was. Yeah, I think that was the first year that I hosted it.
I remember you practicing for that. You did a video practicing for that too, didn't you, Jody?
I did.
Old James was on you, talking how bad you couldn't cook. Now look at you, got a trophy sitting there.
I know.
You need to hit him on the head.
And Steve.
Case for you all who ain't seen it.
And Steve, I don't know if you got to try a little piece of it or not. It was really, really good.
It was
award-winning catfish.
Even got me a little hat to wear.
Oh. There you go.
Yep. So I'm all ready. The one thing I didn't like about it was on stage. There we go. I smell like grease after it.
Oh yeah.
Because my hair soaks up any like cigarettes or anything like that. And like people would say, "You smell greasy."
But that was the one big issue that I've heard, Steve, is that the people that are coming from far and wide. Right. So to bring all the stuff, the fryer, the oil, et cetera,
mm-hmm.
that was the one thing. But we were trying to come up with different solutions to that. But and if Jody wasn't cooking this year, she was thinking of being a judge.
Oh.
Yeah, but I probably would have broke down and cooked.
205 said cooking's a lot of work even at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There wasn't no dishes to do though, so that was a good thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I had somebody ask me if Chris Flores was going to be at the event this year.
I don't think Chris is going to come this year.
Okay. I know he was getting rid of his last rod the other day, so I didn't think he would be.
Yeah, it's a long trip for him.
It is.
Chris is a good guy. I'd like to see him come, but I understand.
Yeah. I do too.
Steve, when did you start? And I know the answer to this because we were on the way home receiving phone calls already. But when did you start working on this year's CatCon?
Probably around June. Yeah, and if you notice, the floor plan is different than it was last year. I always have to change the floor plan around a little bit, try to make it better. And I have added crappie and catfish together. Usually I separate them, but I think I've mixed them up together this year so everybody kind of gets seen equally.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know anybody. I'm a catfisherman, but I don't know any other catfishermen that don't like crappie fishing too. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
I've accidentally caught 2 crappies and sometimes in a cast net.
Well, you got to get a different rod and a different reel and put them catfish rods up and go out and throw them little baits for the crappie, Jody.
Yeah.
Now, but you're in a good area down there. I mean, you got good crappie down there where you're at.
Yeah. I have people give me their carcasses, then I use that as bait. Like they'll fillet it off and give me the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, crappie's good to eat. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'd rather eat a crappie than a catfish, I think.
Really? Okay.
Well, I just don't like cleaning any fish though. That's my biggest problem. I'd rather just get it at Captain D's.
Yeah.
Something about
Thank
after I clean
you
the
for saying that.
fish, it's on my hands, and I can't eat the fish after I fry because I smell fish on my hands.
Yeah.
I like bait or something. So James went down there in my spot and won that tournament, did he?
Yes, sir.
He told me he was going to head down in that spot, and it ain't my spot. It's just a spot I found when me and him went fishing one day.
Yeah.
That's the first time I'd ever fished it when me and him went. It
Well,
looked good.
Mm-hmm.
let's see here, Steve. He had his 5-fish bag was 136.9, so almost 137 pounds. His big fish was 60.8, followed up by 4 20s. He had a 26, 2 26s, a 23, and a 21.
Yeah.
Great day. I'll take that any day of the week.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good day. He did better than me. I fished down on Nickajack the same day y'all fished. I had a 30-pounder and a couple 20-pounders. I had about a 65, and then I had one that was probably bigger than that 65, but he come unbuttoned. It's one of them stories. The ones you lose, the ones you miss, or the ones you have a hold of for a minute.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you always remember.
Yeah. Well, it's like that joke. You've heard that there's 3 different sizes of catfish, right? You've heard that? You got small, you got medium, and you got the ones that got away.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I got
I got the takedown. The takedown was really pretty awesome. I had my clicker on and it was screaming. That was pretty awesome. And I got to fight him for about 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But I had planer boards on, and when you get them, the planer boards that I use don't come off when you set the hook or a fish gets on it. A lot of planer boards, the clip will come off and you're just fighting the fish and the board goes up and down. But I had my reel up and that board was swinging like that. And I think that a lot of times will lose you a fish.
I do too.
Yeah.
They got the time to flip and get off.
Yeah.
Because if
you don't use those planer boards that clip hard, then you get all your stuff out there and you're pulling and you hit a log or something and boom, now you got to reel it back in and rebait it or deploy
Reset.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, I tell you, it was a dragon only tournament, and the top 6 teams I think were Tennessee River. But 1, 2, and 3 was James, and then team My Bad Dude, that's Bob and Bobcat and Fashizzle, and Trophy Seekers, that was Daryl, and he was out with Ryan Bortz, and they came in 3rd with 84 pounds. And then they had a 58-pounder as their big fish.
Yeah.
They knocked me out of 3rd right at the very end.
What was your biggest fish, Jody?
I had a couple in the 30s, and I think one about 15 or something. I only had got 3.
Jody had 79.5 pounds, just shy of the 80. She had a 35 and 35.8, a 30.2, and 13.5.
Yeah, the fish were biting pretty good. My fish only bit from like 11 to 2. Before that, I couldn't get a bite, and after that, I couldn't get a bite.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I got a late starter. I think I could have took them. My boat was froze up. I couldn't get the drain plug or nothing in. The shifter was froze. Yeah. So I had a little bit of trouble. I was over an hour late.
You need to put you one of those hydraulic steering on there. You won't have to have that messed up anymore. If you don't have hydraulic steering, if you got the cable steering, I used to fight with that in my Ranger boat. You get in cold and you can't turn your steering wheel.
Yeah.
The hydraulics are a lot better.
Let's see. Fat Boy Eric and Curtis. Eric saying, unfortunately, me and my brother will not be there this year. Eric's the one that was. Remember last year when you were popping in on a bunch of the lives, we'd have the CatCon countdown, and there'd be there's whatever how many days left. They were the ones doing that.
Ah, okay.
Well,
we've got some people that's canceled on me too. I mean, there's life happens, and the guy wants to come, but now he's got to have some back surgery, so it was scheduled on that time, and Lord knows, standing on that concrete for 2 days and walking across, it ain't good on the back anyway. But we've got a lot of new people coming, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting.
Do you have opens, like if someone wants to book yourself some open spots?
Yeah, if you look at the map again, you can see some spots that just don't have nothing in it. It's just open. I've got a couple big spots left. The spot above King Cat there, I've still got somebody, but I've still got a boat dealer that's undecided, or he's got to talk to his partner or something. But a lot of those little 10 by 10s are still available. I can put them together and make a 10 by 20.
Okay.
I don't have many available though, do I?
No, not really. I'd have to blow it up and look at it a little bit better. Are you going to have anything new at your booth this year? Any surprises?
No. I'm still working on my rods, so I don't think they're going to be in by that time. We're going to have the same stuff.
And
I got to find me a few people to work it this year.
I'll help you out.
Okay.
And just remember, these also make good Christmas gifts. You don't have to wait to CatCon to buy.
That's right.
Everybody would love to have a net for some rod holders. I mean, even the hat he's wearing. Trust me, your man would want that hat.
And another thing too, if you notice, I took out the seminars out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have any seminars inside the building now. As you're walking through, where Stan was talking about where the bathrooms are before you get in, I've got another 5,000 square foot room there that I'm going to put the seminars in.
Oh, wow.
So I won't have them separated. I'll have like a crappie seminar, a catfish seminar, crappie, catfish, crappie, catfish. A lot of folks, when they was on the microphones talking on their seminars, it was kind of overcrowding, and people couldn't talk or listen. In their other booths, like Mad Cat's, he's trying to do business, and everybody's over there hooping and hollering. But now Kevin's doing his thing, I think, late Friday night, so most of you guys get pretty loud in that one. So, but we'll end up doing that one in that other room as well.
Easements?
Yeah. Are you lined up for any awards this year, Jody?
I don't know. They've not put out the nominees yet.
You could still get they're still in the collection stage, so you can go to Golden Whiskers on Facebook. Kevin's also got the on there, you can find where you can enter if you want to nominate people for, I don't know, things like host of the year, possibly. There's all kinds on there, and you just so you can do it right there in Facebook, or like I said, there's also Kevin's got a where you list out every category and you can put your nominations in, and then right soon the nomination committee is going to pick the top 3 from each category, and that's when we'll know. But Jody's been mentioned for a couple of categories. Now I've been mentioned for a few categories. So there's a lot of people, a lot of talk out there. So we'll see. Everybody loves the Golden Whiskers.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
A lot of new people too's been their name floating around, so that's exciting.
YouTube's really blown up.
Yeah. Smoky Mountain Catfishing said Steve done a great job on the crimping video he just posted.
Yes.
If someone could nominate that. I mean,
well, I'm trying to get back into the YouTube a little bit.
Yeah, you've been doing a really great job of getting the videos posted.
Well, I don't get to go fishing much anymore, but I went the other day. I did a turn and burn. I drove 4 or 5 hours down, fished for 7 hours, and drove 5 hours back. Yeah, that's kind of.
Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
That's tough on an old man. I got out of the truck about halfway home. I got out at a Love truck stop to go get me a drink, and I'm walking across the parking lot, and I'm all bent over because my back is sore. And I thought, man, I look like an old man. Yeah, because you used to look at the old dudes walking, they're all back, all crimped over and walking, and that's what I felt like. Shoo. And all I did was went fishing that day.
Yeah.
And in that crimping video, what makes that a really great video is the way that Steve crimps that hook at the hook. A lot of people like to use snell knot, but by the way that he did it, by wrapping that line around it, you still get the same effect as a snell because it's pulling on the shank. It's still pulling on the shank, so it's still doing effectively what a snell knot will do.
Right.
He left.
Oh, he gone.
Yeah, I think I see him down here. I can add him right back real quick. There he is. Add stage.
It must be my hearing aids. I'm still trying to work them into the thing, but but yeah, it works the same way if you use a dropper loop. If you have a dropper loop and you're putting a circle hook on it, you want to do it that same exact way. Put it down, wrap it around, and then it will still, even though it's a dropper loop, it'll still be pulling on the shank, which is what
You're exactly right. That's the way I do my Kentucky rigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite rigs, Kentucky rigs.
Let's see.
We have a bunch more people came in. Jody, Catfish Fever and Outdoors is out there. Josh Thompson. Randy Gray Hair Swain's out there.
Retired Ricky Poo.
There's Ricky Poo. Yeah, no, still way better when you say it. Still way better when you say it. Michael Grumpy Vet said that he punctured his right lung the other night. Wow. That's not good. We hope you're doing better for that.
Mm-hmm. Eric. That's the reason Jody don't fish as much. She's an old lady. Oh.
So Steve, for those that don't know some of the history of CatCon, when you first, like the first CatCons, what size were we talking about? So people get an idea of how far it's come in those 10 years.
Well, the first one we had was in the garage, a maintenance garage, which probably 3,000 square foot. And I just invited a bunch of my buddies, I guess, that had rods and tackle and just stuff. And I didn't even charge them that year. We just, and people came to that first one. I was expecting 250 people, and we had about 1,300 people, if I remember right. And most everybody that brought stuff to sell was out of it by 9 a.m. in the morning. And I didn't bring nothing to sell. I just brought my stuff to look at, and that's kind of what I thought it was going to be, just to kind of like look at it. And a lot of folks kind of got upset because we didn't have nothing to sell. So the next year, we allowed the selling, and it's just taken off. Girls, I got 2 dogs going crazy over here.
Yeah.
And then the next year we moved it to the Crown Plaza, which is maybe 3,000 square foot, but a lot nicer. Didn't have grease on the floor, it had carpet. and we kept it there for 2 years, but we had to move it because, and I got pictures of it, people moving through the aisles shoulder to shoulder. I mean, it's like, and it was kind of uncomfortable, and you see rods everywhere, people are carrying rods around. And then we moved it to the Expo Center, but in the pavilion, which was only like 70,000 square foot. And then we filled that up. So we went to the West Wing, which is like almost 170,000 square foot. So that's kind of where we've been perched for the last 3 years at the West Wing.
Mm-hmm.
And
somebody want to know what parking is it still $15 or did it go up, you think?
I have no idea. I fight that battle every year. I have no control over that parking stuff. I mean, it's just, that's where the expo makes their money, I guess.
If you
I had to go out and get some rope one time, and
thank you.
I had to come back in and pay twice that time.
Yep. Yeah, if you have to leave for any reason, you got to pay to park again. But
so I apologize to anybody, but that's just not my rules. I'd let you in free and park it for free if I could.
And for anybody that is interested in that, you can look up for any of the rules and the parking, all that. If you look up, what is the name of the expo? It's the
Kentucky Expo.
Kentucky Expo. I think it's at KentuckyExpo.com, and they even have some of the information at Eventbrite. If you look up Eventbrite for CatCon or Catfish Conference, it'll list some of those things.
Kentucky Exposition Center, the West Wing.
There you go.
Yep. And I've had a lot of folks ask me how if it's handicapped accessible. I believe it is. And I had a couple people, I know it is, but I've had some folks ask about mobility scooters. And you're welcome to bring them if you can, but they don't supply it. I know some of those expos supply little scooters, but trust me, if I could get me a scooter, I'd have had one. I mean, running across that floor, taking care of everybody of 170,000 square foot from one side to the other, makes my feet hurt.
Well, I think it would actually slow you down a little bit, though, Steve. The way you're from one side to the other. I don't know how anybody could keep up with you at but the one thing I got to give you credit for, and I know not a lot of conference stuff, but you still took the time. If somebody took the time to say, "Hey, Steve, whatever, great job. I came from Expo. This is my son. I came from, Tennessee or here or there. This is you took the time to stop and talk to people. So that's really cool.
Oh, yeah. That's why I do it. It's for the people. I haven't made no money at Catfish Conference in 10 years. It ain't a money making thing. It's just I call it a networking opportunity for anglers and businesses together. It's just something that I think it's helped grow the sport over the last 10 years. I'm not saying I'm responsible for that, but I think it has played a big part in the way the sport has grown. I can remember a guy telling me when we was in the Crown Plaza that this thing was going to be big one day. There's going to be more opportunities for new anglers and new companies to come into the catfishing because of this. So it's been a journey, but I've had fun. At some time, I'm going to have to lay down on it, though. I don't know when I get to where I can't walk across that floor, I guess.
I've never been all the way through it yet.
Me neither, Jody.
Never. And I think Friday's the best day. There's not as many people there, and a lot of stuff gets sold out on Friday.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Yeah. It's it'll be fun this year.
And Steve, last year was one of the biggest. It was the biggest year yet, right? I think the final total was over how many thousand people?
If I remember, it was like 12 to 14,000. I want to say 13, but I'd have to go look at it.
I believe that. I'm pretty sure you're correct. 13 and change is, I think, what the final number was. And I know. Like I said, riding home, I was talking to Hervé about some of that stuff, and it was just, it's just nuts. 13,000 people through the door in 1 week for catfish. It's.
Hey, it was from California to South Carolina, and all in between and up and down. So that's right. A lot of fun.
Right. Even overseas, we had.
Oh yeah, we had that one YouTuber that comes every year.
Martin from the UK. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's really, of course, it's the conference, and you got all the vendors and all that stuff there, and that is, what better way to get different products in your hand? Not everybody's going to like the same. People have bigger hands, smaller hands, whatever. Some people like longer butt rods. Some like. To get that many different companies, excuse me, and that many different types, you may see something that you've never seen, you've never had an opportunity to, and say, "Wow, man, look at that! That feels great. I love this." And you wouldn't get that opportunity anyplace else.
Right.
Nope.
You get to pick them up and try them out before you buy them. If you just buy it on the internet, you get it, and it's not what you expected it to be. You kind of get disappointed.
And
you can see cast nets and anchors and everything.
Yeah, if you're coming to the conference to buy the anchor, I would give you a tip and buy it, but then have the guy hold it until you get ready to leave. On a 16, 18 pound anchor all day. And it's the same thing with lead. I got a good lead guy that comes from New York every year.
Mm-hmm.
I put him by the back door because a lot of people come in by that lead and then they pull their car up and he can just take it right out to their car. Lead's very important in catfishing. So but you don't want to pack that stuff around all over 170,000 square foot of building.
You should see the deal I got on these 50 pounds of sinker.
Eric.
Yeah. Eric Massey Jig Company. He's one of our crappie guys. He's been there since the beginning of the new crappie portion of it.
Yeah.
I appreciate Eric.
Mm-hmm.
I think Eric, if I'm not mistaken, Eric ties custom jigs and he does a good job. He sits there and ties jigs while people are watching him. That's real interesting too.
He said he was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet everybody and see all the stuff. I'm going to try my best to hit every booth this year and look at it.
And that was the other point that I was bringing up with that is that you'll meet so many. If you see somebody that you've seen on YouTube, if you see somebody that you've heard of them fishing, everybody, I've never had anybody or seen anybody that wasn't willing and wanting to talk to, especially anglers that are still coming up. Everybody's in a different journey. Some people are just switching over from, thinking that catfish are these just bottom dwelling and you throw out this stinky thing and you're going to, so there's people that are really interested in that. And you'd be amazed how many people will come up and talk to you. They've seen your shows or this or that. Right. Mm-hmm. Everybody that's there, don't be afraid to say hello to people, ask questions. The vendors that are there, they love answering questions about their products. You can see how passionate they are.
Everybody's got a common interest right there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You can talk to anybody there, and they're going to relate to you because you're talking catfish or crappie.
Yes. Bob Kitty. Hey, Bob.
Let's see. And it keeps getting bigger. That's right. That's the, that's the expression. It's going to be even bigger and better this year.
Mm-hmm.
See. Oh, there's Brian B out there. Misplaced Country Girl. How's it going? Get an e-bike. I don't know about e-bikes through the.
I am not. There's Bionic Bigfoot. Good to see you in today. Appreciate everybody's come in.
Now, was there any other questions? Any other questions out there?
Well, I will tell you a little bit. I don't have a question, but this is kind of important if people don't know about it. We have, when you're coming into the West Wing, when you come in, there's a couple entrances you can come in where you luckily find the entrance you like. But when you're coming in the front entrance where the big marquee is, we share a parking lot with the rest of the facility, which they have 14 other big arenas. So a lot of times that parking lot will get full quickly with our people and their people. Mm-hmm. But if you go completely, if you just like look at the building straight and imagine you just go straight through it, the backside is where the other door is that you come in. It's not as glamorous. It's got dumpsters and stuff around, but it's a quick access and got a lot of parking back there. In case you're wondering.
And if your mobility, if you have issues with mobility, that's a great entrance to get dropped off close to a door too.
Yeah.
Jim, I met him on TikTok. I watch him on S&T Catfishing Show every day. So
there you
thanks
go.
For coming S&T.
In. Lisa said, I'd love to meet Steve, but the other two on panel, I'm still debating about. What?
Lisa's something else. I'm excited to see her again. So
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Lisa? She got a YouTube channel?
She's Burrito.
Who?
She goes by Burrito, Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Burrito catfishing lady. Yeah, she's.
Where's she from?
Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah.
I recognize Laura the Explorer. I've seen her catch some nice fish recently.
Yeah.
Out there with LG Bass.
Bobcat Outdoors. It seems like I recognize that name.
Any discounts on the hotel rooms?
Huh?
Someone wants to know if there's any discounts on any hotel rooms.
There's supposed to be discounts on the hotel room that we have, which is not the Crown Plaza. I think it's
Town
Suites.
Town Place Suites.
Town Place Suites. And then right next door to that, there's a Holiday Inn that's a kind of overflow. The Town Place Suites is the pretty cool one where got the heaters out front and the barbecue grills, and all the YouTubers kind of just get out there and hang. I wish it would be nice one year where a guy could go out there and enjoy it without freezing.
Well, at least they got the big, the big fire pit things. That does help a little bit.
That fire pit, I'm gonna have to tell you, is lame. I went over to get warm, and it's just got like blue flames just rolling.
It's for looks.
I need some big, tall. We need to get a bonfire out there.
A lot of Airbnbs in the area. Yep. I really enjoyed the dinner after when everybody's down there cooking out and hanging out. Because it's just, it was just a certain amount of people, and you could be more comfortable because you have to worry about someone watching you act a fool,
I wish I wasn't so tired from being up at 6 o'clock in the morning all the way to be able to enjoy what you guys are doing out there.
Yeah.
I try to hang with you, but it's hard.
Hey, Freddie.
There we go. Of course, FOA Customs and Gear will be there. I think most of, from what I've heard, most of pro staff, FOA pro staff is going to be there. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Well, I hope he's doing better. I seen he went to the doctor or something the other day. I hope he's going to be ready for the show.
Hope he's ready for that King of the Tennessee River coming up next weekend, Jody. I know everybody would hate to see Ray Ferguson not be able to fish it.
He whooped me that one time. It was almost the Queen of Tennessee. I come in right below him.
I don't know if you've heard about that tournament yet, Steve. It's one of the YouTube ones we do, the King of the Tennessee, and they do it every 4 months or so. Sorry, every 3 months or so. And this is the last one. Next year, it's going to turn into the King of the Rivers. So but right now it's just been the past year and change, I think, right? Almost 2 years now. I've been doing the King of the. This year I've been blessed to be able to be hosting that, and we've had a lot of fun doing that. But this is the last one, so whoever wins this one keeps the sumo catfish sumo belt, and so they're going to have a blast with that. That is this Saturday. That's this Saturday at 9 a.m. It'll be on my channel, Two Stands Fishing, also on Team Snag and Whiskers channel, 9 a.m. to 2. So that's going to be a blast. This is the very last King of the Tennessee.
I noticed Laura the Explorer asked about the discount. I think all you have to do is tell them you're with the Catfish Conference, and they're supposed to get a discount. I don't know how much of a discount it is, but it seemed like maybe $130 for a night. But that hotel there is worth it, $130. It's nice.
Yeah. 304 D&D Bates going to be there first time this year.
Yeah, awesome. He's a new one, D&D Bates. I talked to him the other day, got him a space.
We'll be looking for you again.
They're good people. I hang out with them on TikTok some.
Awesome. We'll be looking for them. I know we're speaking with River Cats Tackle. That whole crew is excited to get there. Going to have Creole Catfishing going to be there for the first time this year. So
yeah, they got them a big booth this year.
Yeah, they were all excited about it. They're going to have rods and reels and all kinds of stuff there. So that's really cool.
Someone wants to know what your favorite lake on the Tennessee River is.
Who, mine?
Yes.
I don't know. I like Nickajack real well. But I like Wilson too. I'm not fond of Wheeler unless it's like in the spring up in the river section.
Yeah.
Chickamauga, I've caught fish all up and down the Tennessee River. There's not been a spot on that river I haven't fished. I fished Loudon years ago when there was some nice fish in it. But I think once you get up there in the beginning of the Tennessee River, which I think that's Loudon, it gets better as you go down.
Jody's, I'll tell you, Jody's catfish was better than Captain D's, without doubt. Without doubt, it was. The judges really had a hard time, and the guy that you had to cook off against, Jody, he actually has I think a food truck that he sells catfish out of.
Yeah, he was a previous winner too.
Yeah.
I already get a gold chain with the spatula hanging off of it.
Yeah.
Jody,
hat on.
That's right. Jody's going to be the new Flavor Flav.
With a big frying pan hanging.
That's right. Jody will have an entourage with her everywhere she go, right?
Yeah.
Her own theme music playing.
I've not fried a piece of catfish since then.
Got Dead Sea Pirates out there. Bill Reddick Outdoors. What's up, Bill?
Oh.
I love watching his channel. Hey, looks like, hey, there he is. S&T Catfishing made it in. What's up, S&T? Great to see you, my friend.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Tracy. Thanks for coming in.
Gunnersville's another good lake too. If you're looking for big fish, Gunnersville, Nickajack. If you're looking for a lot of fish, I hate to say it, Jody, but Watts Bar, but they don't get real big down there.
Ooh.
The biggest I've ever got was in the 50s.
That's kind of average. I mean, but that's still good fish. Don't get me wrong; they're fun to catch. But I'd like to go to the places where I know there's some hundreds, just in case.
I've hooked on some big ones, but you always wonder what they're gonna. I like experience. Like I was anchored up one time. I looked over and my rod was like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did I get hung up? And I tried to move it and I couldn't budge it or anything. And I'm like, it'll be my anchor. Keep the boat from swaying. And I walked off, and about 10 seconds later, it took off.
Oh.
I lost it. Yeah. Inexperience.
I've got a spot, Steve, that I call the devil cat hole, because have you ever, anybody out there have that same type of situation where they just, for some reason, I've missed multiple monster fish, and just weird, like one, he wrapped up the line, got the circle hook stuck into a sinker slide with one of the ones that clipped, so the hook got wrapped up in there. And it was a monster, one of the biggest fish I've felt, and that happened. It was just weird, every weird thing that could happen. Yeah. So I call that my devil cat spot. But I'm going to get that guy one of these years. It may be 15, 20 years from now, but I'm going to get that guy.
I've been saying that for 20 years. Here's the thing. There's a lot of, and I'm not downing anybody. Don't get me wrong, but like, a lot of guys have been doing this, I won't say semi-professionally. They fish tournaments all over the country. They catch a lot of fish, and they've never caught, that 100-pounder, that 80-pounder. I know some really good guys that's never caught anything over 80. But you get a guy that watches my videos or Jody's and gets him some chicken and goes out there and he catches that 100-pounder. It's amazing, and it's good to see it, but it's just odd how a guy fishes really hard for it and can't find it, and then some new guy comes out and just throws it right on top of it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I mean, did you see the smiles on their faces?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to see anybody catch a big fish.
Well, it's just
I enjoy watching.
Yeah, exactly. It's the guys that have the world record right now. He was just a teacher.
Yeah. And
he was just fishing, like once a year. I think the story was him and his dad and brother would go out and they'd have a little tournament on the same boat together.
Mm-hmm.
And he caught that fish, and you've never heard nothing else out of him before or after. He just lucked into that fish.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it is luck and time on the water,
Mm-hmm.
If you're out there long enough and you got good baits and your equipment's good and you're in a good spot, you're going to come across one.
And
You just
I'll
got
give
to
you
have
example.
experience and skill to get it in.
I'll give you an example of that is, I think one of the things that it's a journey. It's as you get used to, I remember when I first started our first big fish was a 22-pound blue cat here on the James River. And for us, we came down from upstate New York. That's a monster catfish. So that was the first one. So, anything over 10 pounds is a monster. So you're not going to leave fish that you're catching at 20, 25 pounds. Then after a while, though, it's like, okay, I've caught a bunch of these. Then you start looking for those next ones. I think for a lot of us, we don't leave fish to go look for a bigger fish. But people like Ray Ferguson, who was in one of the tournaments, he was catching, I think, 20-pounders and left that spot because they weren't big enough.
30-pounders.
Yeah, so that's I think that's part of the difference right there.
Mm-hmm.
That I think was the tournament where I had the 63-pounder.
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
He never could get on anything any bigger, but he got 3 decent ones that still beat me because I couldn't.
Well,
I think I got the
20-pounder that I caught first time on the Cumberland River with one of my buddies is the one that hooked me. I'd never seen. I thought I was a good catfisherman fishing my little lake, catching channel catch, and I go down there and I see this 20-pounder, and it's like the biggest thing I've ever seen. And that's the one that hooked me. And like I say, I learned most of what I know on the Cumberland River years ago. And then I got thinking, because it's 3 hours to Cumberland River, I thought, you know what? I wonder if the Ohio River has fish in it. So the Ohio River is not far from me. So I used the Ohio River for quite some time until it just went downhill. I can remember a time, and I got videos on the Ohio River where there's just 60s, 70s right after another, big fish being caught. And but that's when I started going to Tennessee, where I know I could catch a good fish. But the Ohio River's coming back now. We put some regs on it, and it's definitely coming back. And it's fun to fish. The Ohio River is fun to fish, but it's like the Mississippi River. Them rivers are so vast. I mean, like we fished a tournament I can't even remember, down in Memphis somewhere. But you got to sometimes drive 90 miles by water to get to some good water.
Yeah.
And you spend your time driving most of the time. And that's the same thing with the Ohio River. But if you want to fish in a tournament, you kind of got to get away from people. And that's kind of why I quit fishing tournaments, because I didn't want to work that hard anymore. I did it in 2009 to about 2017. I fished all over the country, but I just didn't like being on somebody else's time anymore. If I go fishing, I won't go fishing and quit when I want to quit.
Right.
But they are a little fun, but I just don't want to work that hard anymore.
I want to do them, but it's just so much travel.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm by myself a lot, and if I have a breakdown, then I'm hurting.
Oh yeah.
Flats or anything like that, the hubs. I mean, it's not worth it, the risk. Somebody want to know about if you bought the VIP ticket with the T-shirt. How do they know what size to send you? Because
that's a Hervé question right there. I would think he has something set up for that. I'd have to look into it.
Right there's a 120-pound blue cat come out of Kerr today, and then they said it was Tim King.
He catches a lot of them down there. He's invited me to come fishing, and I've always wanted to fish Kerr Lake ever since that world record was caught. But I just don't have the time to do everything I wanted to do. Yeah. See, when I was fishing tournaments back in the day, I had a lot of time because Monster Rod Holders was not really a big company. Mm-hmm. Now that I've grown it, my attention's more on this than it is fishing anymore. I used to be able to go everywhere.
And let me tell you about that Tim King. I got to fish with him one time. We were going when Dan got his new boat. We were down in that area. We were just fishing for white perch. but he could tell you, like, okay, coming up in about 5.5 feet, you're going to see a rock right there. 20 feet off to the left, cast out over this. Like he knew every inch of the bottom.
Yeah.
The structure, the what, and that's one of the things. We talk about crappie fishing. We talked about fishing before. Some of the best cat fishermen are. The reason they're so good is because they know fish. They can tell you where bluegill are. They can tell you where the crappie are. They can tell you where the shad and everything else. That was one of the first things that Epic, talking with Epic and trying to pick up some fishing, some cat fishing. And I said, well, I'm just a multi-species angler because we lived upstate New York. And he says, well, then you're ahead of the game already because that's the first thing you got to learn.
Right. Catch bait.
So, but yeah, Tim King is just outstanding. The knowledge that he has.
Oh, Bobcat! I told him before when I fished with him, he needs to migrate down from that dam a little bit. Chickamauga's got a lot of good water down there.
Yeah.
Brian said he hooked up on a 168-pound catfish, got it to the boat, weighed it. He went to hit the live button, and then his alarm clock went off.
Oh.
Do you ever dream about fishing, Steve?
Huh?
You ever dream about fishing?
No, I don't dream much at all. I don't sleep much at all. I get about 3 to 4 hours a night.
Yeah.
I wish I would dream, but it don't happen. I don't remember them.
Yeah. I dream about fishing all the time. You'll see that rod go down, and you'll see it go sideways and start going. You know what that is. And I jump up to get the rod, and then I can't find it.
Oh.
I'm standing on the floor by the bed crying because I lost my rod.
Well, if I did have a dream, it would probably be I'm broke down alongside the road trying to change the tire. That'd be my luck.
It's just so real. You can just see that rod go down and, go over to the side.
So you kind of wake up and looking for Rod?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like this.
Oh.
Trying to grab one.
Well, anybody wants to play an awful joke, just kind of hang some down so you got some hanging around. And
yeah. I should mount some on the bed. That way at least I could act like reel it in little.
Was it, let's see, was it Benoit Bear? There it is. Okay, I found it. I can check with Hervé for you, Benoit, and let you know.
Mm-hmm. ST said, very thankful for you guys like Steve and Muddy River.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
We'll give us another shot at this. Get this one more time. Floor plan. And that's the first time anybody's got to see it. First time he showed it. So it's still a work in progress, and he's still got some openings if anybody wants to book something.
I'm not sure where I'm going to put the YouTube booth this year because I did change the floor plan. If you look where FOA is right now in the middle, that's where I had the boats last year. So I've kind of moved things around. I wanted everybody to get a good view of everything. And I think the boats, but we put the boats off to the side. They got their own side over there. And this is really going to take up the whole floor plan. Usually I was cut off about direction unknown over to the left. It was just all open. But now everything is filled. So it's definitely growing.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah, Moon over Miami came in out there. Welcome.
But once I figure out the YouTube area, and it might be up there next to Mad Cats because I've got a big open place. That's where our seminars used to be. Okay. But I still may get a boat guy over there because it's a good one. But we'll find a place for everybody. And if any of your YouTube friends that are out there listening to this, if you do us a little YouTube video advertising you're going to be there and dates and all that, we'll let you set up a little table. Now you got to bring your table and chairs. We won't supply that, but you can set up a table and chairs and if you got a few things to sell, you're welcome to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's new. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there's a little fisherman thing they do there, trading spot too, where you
I
can.
forgot about that. I gotta get that. I gotta find a place for that.
Yeah.
Michael
Like,
Murillo usually does
yep.
the
Yeah,
swap
he does
shop.
the swap
Swap shop.
shop. I gotta find a place for that. I'm glad somebody reminded me about that.
Yeah.
Usually it's right. The way it's been the past few years is that's been in the same area
Yeah,
as the YouTube.
yeah. Well, I'm most likely going to put it up over next to Mad Cats in that area up there. So I'll have plenty of space. And like so we got new YouTubers out there. I've had several people ask me if they can come and we've got YouTube badges. Well, I'm gonna say influencer badges. So it could be YouTube, TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Like say if you do a little video for us, you're welcome to come in there and hang out and promote yourself or your show or
That's cool.
definitely going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad you reminded me about that. I forgot about the swap shop. What am I going to
Yeah.
do with Michael?
Michael, he's a big man now.
Yeah,
He's gonna need a little bit of a space.
yeah,
And that is usually they'll end up having. I know last year they ended up doing some the giveaways for the kids and things like that. They were doing there at the same swap shop area. Man, that's a that's a tongue tangle there.
Yeah.
the pond for the kids. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that this year because I've got so much space taken up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just another one of them things that I love the idea. I really want to do it, but I'm being pulled from this direction to the catfish cook-off to the pond, and it's a lot of working parts that I need help with. If I can't get it, then I don't even know if I got room for it this year. So,
And that pond was it was a beast to set up and probably just more of a beast to take down. Probably.
Take down, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to streamline it a little bit. I think people come there for the camaraderie and a chance to buy some stuff and just see people.
Mm-hmm.
We have some stuff for the kids, bouncy house, and I might hopefully talk to Bobcat or something. We still might be able to set up a little area that you can, because I got those plates, shooting plates that a fella built for me. We might have somebody stand there with some rods and help teach the young ones how to throw the rods and such like that without the water.
Yeah.
that would be a lot easier on me.
Well, I think it's going to be a great time. It always has been. Everybody gets along. There's never no fighting or anything. It's just like a bunch of brothers and sisters, family reunion.
Yeah. I
You
just
get
want
to
to say
meet
Steve is
people
like
you see
family
online
reunion.
that in person, and I
Yeah.
can't wait.
The best thing about family reunions is when I haven't been to one in a long time, but the best thing I remember was the food. Everybody brought a dish. I wish everybody would bring us a dish and sit down. I'll reserve this place up here by Mad Cats for all the dishes if you want.
Yeah. And last year we brought in a few things. There's a lot of cookies and stuff brought in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shh. That was.
Who was it? It was Donald Knight's wife, Susie, sent some, and Denise, Misplaced Country Girl, and then
She had those sugar cookie catfish.
Yeah, Naomi
catfish
from Double Hook Angling, she brought some in. Yeah.
Well,
And
Jim
it's all
Galvin
good.
at D&D's wanting to know where his booth is. I can't really see.
I was trying to find that
It
myself.
seems like he's like right of the XL boats in that line right there. It seems like maybe. I don't know. Did I sent that to you on email, didn't I, Jody?
Yeah,
Let me
I can
pull up.
send it to him if you want me to.
I'll just pull it up and see
Okay.
and let him know where it's at.
You
I
might
can't
be able to.
blow it up.
I was going to say, if you could zoom in.
There we go.
That make it bigger?
Yeah, D&D tackles on the other side of Minotaur hooks. if you can find out where Minotaur Hooks is. And Minotaur Hooks is across from Hamilton Bait and Tackle.
I can't see any of it.
All right, if you look at Hamilton Bait and Tackle and come straight down, there's two 10 by 20 booths right there. The one that's the darkest is Minotaur Hooks, and if you come straight down from Minotaur Hooks, that's D&D, a 10 by 10 spot right there. So he's in a good aisle. All of it's good this year with the new floor plan.
Yeah.
What really kills us is the bigger booth. Like the Ripping Lips and the Twisted Cats and the Monster Rod Holders and the Catch the Fevers. They bring their big trailers and stuff in, so
yeah,
that kind of messes up the 10 by 10 stuff. If you notice, like where Direction Unknown is, and a few of those spaces, those are 15 deep and 10 wide, because I have to have a 30-foot wide spot for Hamilton Bait and Tackle and Direction Unknown and Tackle Bandit, that sort of thing. So.
Then it's not on the Catfish Conference page yet that I know of. This is the first view. This is the first view of it.
I just took it off my Photoshop.
Yeah.
So, Steve, you were saying this is, depending on what happens, this could be subject to change?
Yeah, just a little bit. Like if you go over here to where TWC is on the right, if you go up there, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 booths that's not available. I may move some people from the left over here because I want to fill up one generally space, and we might just have to move everything to the right a little bit. We'll squeeze it in, but it'll generally look like this. Unless we can fill up these spaces, like I say, it doesn't take most people to get a 10 by 20. So if you think about it, there ain't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There ain't about 10 spaces left for like a 10 by 20.
And one of the biggest things that we can do out there is, we are kind of the influencers of social media. We're the ones that are talking about it. So if you're in Facebook groups, things like that, other people, you're in other groups, share out some of the stuff. Say, hey, who's going to CatCon? Because there's people that may not have heard about it, especially if you're just getting into catfishing and, so the more that we share it out, the more that we talk about it, the more people hear about it. And that's just how it keeps growing. So,
yeah.
I've had a lot of people contact me about booths, and I give them information.
Yeah, just give them my number and have them call me. We'll get them lined out. I do have a little program for first time comers, so we'll work on that a little bit to try to get them in. I know money's tight for everybody right now, the economy. I'll tell you what, I hate to tell people this, but I just went to the grocery, took Lisa to the grocery, and spent $560. Can you believe that?
Yes.
I hate to bring that up on, but that just irked me so much. And then they make us bag our own groceries.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. I had 2 bags the other day, Steve. 2 bags, $52 and change.
It's nuts.
And for anybody out there, especially, Jody and I know talk to a lot of you. If you have a question about that and you want our help to try to get the question answered, feel free to get it to us and we can pass that on to Steve or whoever else could possibly. I know basically a lot of we'll have Hervé up one of the weeks coming up here in a bit too. And so I know with a lot of like the tickets and that stuff, I know a lot of that stuff, Steve, right, is more where it'd be a Hervé type question.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, he does the administrative stuff, and I'm the guy that calls the people and say, hey, we're selling booths. Would you like to come join us? And then I build the floor plan. That's crazy stuff too. Like I say, I do things old school. There might be a better way to do it, but each one of those little square blocks is a layer. I've got like 1,100 and something layers on this Photoshop. Yes.
Wow.
And if you go in there, like it's blown my mind. Like the first first year I was one of the ones out in line, and we're standing out there all excited about it and talking out in line. And then, I've been blessed to help out a little bit and been there with some different companies and done some things with Hervé and with you and with the cook-off and stuff. But to go in there like the day before and see everything from an empty room with putting tape down and all taping out the spots and just amazing. Just the stuff you would not think about. You walk in there on Friday and everything is set, but the stuff that goes through there to get that place set up is just, if that's what we should do is have a time-lapse camera, Steve, have a time-lapse camera and just make a video of from ground zero to putting the tape down to everything. I think it'd be an amazing thing.
I think Hervé might have done that last year. I do remember seeing a video of me walking across the empty floor, but I can't remember if he showed it afterwards or not. But yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, because you go in there and it's empty, and you go back 6 o'clock at night and it's already full. But it also happens the same way. It's full, and then in 4 hours it's empty.
Yeah.
People get up out of there and go.
I think it empties a lot quicker than it sets up.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of work and preparation in this.
Oh yes, there is. Not only just doing what I'm doing here, but bringing my products, Monster Rod Holders, down there as well. I can imagine, all these other folks but it's worth it, else they wouldn't do it. It's a networking opportunity. There's some sales in it. If you make some money, that's good too. But we built this thing mainly for a networking opportunity for everybody to help build the sport.
I know I bought stuff impulse buys because if I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of stuff I didn't even know was out there. I'm like, well, that's cool. I want that,
And how much do you think it helps that you have vendors that have been? I mean, that should tell you what the Catfish Conference is, because you've got vendors that the day as it's ending, they're already putting the things in for next year, confirming next year. So how much does it help having those same vendors coming in, so they know they bring the trailer in, they've kind of got an idea of how it goes.
Yeah, it helps a lot. The work is calling the 10 by 10 and 10 by 20s to get them in there and kind of convince them, it's worth it. I'm having struggling with the crappie crowd a little bit. Some of the old school crappie crowds, or they're so big they don't come to these things anymore. A lot of mistakes that they make, though, and I don't know if this is, but like some of the rod manufacturers don't want to come because somebody like Tackle Bandit or Bluff City Tackle sells their particular rods, and they don't want to take anything off of, and I'm not naming names, but they don't want to take anything from them guys by bringing their distributorship in there. But what they're not understanding is when they're got 15 different brands in Tackle Bandit or any other tackle store, they may not be aware of this one particular brand that's trying to brand itself to the catfishing and crappie community.
Yeah.
So it's better if you just get you a 10 by 10 booth and have like B&M rods. This is going to be their first year that they're coming. They come to our very first one, but that was a company that's pretty big, and they, like I say, they just rather have one of the other people sell it. But I think they lose. They lose a little. They don't gain any product recognition from new anglers coming into the sport. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If that B&M is being sold in another tackle store, that tackle store is not going to really be pushing B&M. Mm-hmm. That tackle store is going to be pushing all the other brands. Mm-hmm. But yeah, B&M's. I'm excited for them to come this year. That's a big name.
That's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's one thing I do try to look at. Let's go around and look at all the rods.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I know a lot of new rod people this year too. I mean, the rod people are just. You got the old school ones, but there's a lot of newer rod companies coming out.
Yep.
which is pretty cool. There's room for everybody.
Yeah, you never really know what the rod is till you get in your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I can't wait. I'm gonna get new rods this year. I've been waiting on yours, but
Well, I think I told you my predicament. I'm fighting one of the biggest corporations in the world right now to use my name.
yeah.
And I'm fixing to win this, so we'll be
Awesome.
Woo-hoo.
I told my attorneys the other day I need it to be over with before the first of the year. So
Well, good.
the problem is getting all them attorneys together. You know,
Mhm.
each one of them got so much money they don't worry about little old Steve, but
Yeah.
they'll go on vacation for 2 weeks and I can't get a hold of anybody. So,
Mm-hmm.
but when I get to okay, I'm out. I'll have your rods.
All right. Can't wait.
And
All right.
Is that the
I
show?
can't wait. Yep, I think we're about done.
Well,
Yeah.
Jody, I appreciate you having me on here again. I appreciate both of you guys promoting the conference and being loyal fans of the conference.
absolutely.
Can't wait. It's a great time to be had by all, and if you miss it, you'll regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody in chat.
Yeah.
Hope to see you on the river someday, somewheres.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Thank y'all for coming in, and we're going to end it. Thanks, Stan, for coming up.
oh, absolutely.
Thank
All
y'all.
See everybody out there.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.